Hi guys, welcome back to the Mom's View. Today we have an amazing guest, Joji, who is not only a mother, but she is a celebrity trainer, and she has a YouTube channel that you have to pronounce for me.
Fiteate.
So what does that mean?
Which means get yourself fit. It's in Spanglish for get yourself fit. Fiteate. Lisa, say it.
Fiteate.
Yeah.
So tell us about the channel, because I know you can go there, you can do a workout in like 15 minutes.
10-15 minutes and you're done. I make sure that you hit every body part. Your legs, your core, your arms, and your cardio. All in one package. 10 minutes, we do high intensity intervals. We do rounds, period, work followed by rest periods, 10 seconds.
Right.
40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and then you do rounds and you're done.
Which is so great, I guess, if you're a mom too, because 15 minutes.
You don't have time, that's it, that's it.
No time.
That's it. You don't have to think about anything, it's just, you know, wait for me to cue you and go.
And then we get to look like you. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Can we see her body?
Maybe yeah. Work out for 15 minutes.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Your body's amazing. So body, I mean, we should talk about, I think, some self-esteem issues as women. We want to talk about that today because you guys have been asking about it a lot, and I think it's just something women talk about all the time. It's body issues and self-esteem, and we have one question today that got 144 thumbs up, and it is from Kirikou888, and she says, could you talk about self-esteem, body image, and nutrition for your next video, please? For example, how are you taught to feed yourself in a healthy way? How have you learned to love your body and its flaws? Did you ever have weight problems, really bad acne? Because you are all 6 beautiful women and your confidence makes you even more beautiful. I think a lot of young girls look up to you, and it would be awesome if you could tell, or if we could hear all your stories. Love your videos. You're such great role models. Okay, that was a lot of questions. But I think we could start with just, talking about sort of body issues for women.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a hard one.
Yeah.
Because you go through a stage in life where you don't know who you are and you're not confident. I think everybody does, no matter how beautiful, no matter how skinny, it doesn't matter. Everybody goes through body issues of learning to accept who they are physically. And I went through that. My mom died when I was young, so I felt like, as I was becoming a woman, I guess, I, was gaining weight, and my mom was really like into health and nutrition, but I didn't really understand it because I didn't like a lot of the foods. And then when my dad remarried, we had a little bit more, leniency, I guess. We could eat more of what we wanted, and I think I gained not a lot of weight, like gained like 15, 20 pounds, and because I didn't know how to eat. I didn't understand my body and what to eat. And I remember going out to like Burger King after cheerleading, and all of my friends would get like kids meals, and I'm like, I get like a full-size meal and I ate all of it. And they would throw half of theirs away. I'm like, how are you not eating right now? Like, this is so good. And I just didn't understand my body and what worked for me and how to eat. And so it was a process of learning, and I didn't learn until after I had my first baby.
And do you feel like you learned because you wanted to just be stronger for your child?
Yeah, I learned because I was like, really, because I was pregnant, and I was like, gained a lot of weight, and I was like, how do I do that? What do I do to get back to where I was? And so I got really into fitness and nutrition and found out that I ate it up. Everything I learned, I just ate it up. And
you felt better?
I felt better, mostly. I don't know. What do you ladies think?
I think self-esteem is a journey. It's been a journey for me. At a really young age, talking about being an example for young kids, at a young age, I started struggling with my weight. And I was, not struggling with my weight, but struggling with the way I felt about my weight in grade school. And that led to an eating disorder, and I'm sorry. And that's been a big struggle, and I don't want to talk a lot about that that would take a lot of time. But it's something that when I got pregnant with Braylee, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a mother to a little girl, and I have to be a good example. So yeah, I think it's a journey, and after I had my children and knowing that I wanted to be a good example, it's helped me appreciate my body for other reasons besides just my appearance. I struggled with this eating disorder, but I was still able to have a child, and and, you know, have all of that joy that comes along with having a child. And, you know, so I think it's a journey for everyone, no matter what you look like you said.
Yeah.
It's just a journey, and you have to learn to appreciate your body for so many other reasons rather than just your appearance and weight. So.
I feel like so many women struggle with eating disorders.
Yeah.
And different degrees of them. You know, some can be extreme, but I mean, if you're any kind of obsession about food and how you look is, you know, is...
And such a young age, like I said, in grade school, and I have a cousin that was telling me that her little girl was struggling, like, saying that she thought she was fat, and she's this tiny little girl, and I was like, oh no, what can we do to help her? But, you know, it's just out there, and there's so many shows with little kids, like, you know, tiaras, whatever.
Yeah, toddlers and tiaras, and this dance moms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. I'm like, don't do that, but it's
it can
just
be
out
so
there.
difficult, because I remember at a young age, just like, I would look at every other girl and be like, I want to be like her, I want to be like her, I want to be like her, I want to be like her.
Yeah.
Just
Where did they
to
come
find,
from,
like,
though?
inside yourself, like, to love yourself. Because this is your body. This is my body, and it's the only one I'm ever going to get. So I have to love it, and I have to take care of it. You know?
Because a lot of times the focus when you're being raised, probably as a female too, is just about being perfect and being a physical kind of perfect. And,
I think the media has such a big
Oh,
impact.
it really does.
Because picture if there was none of that. If we didn't have TV, if we didn't have magazines, you wouldn't really have these things to compare yourself to and think this is what it should be like.
Or
You
even
just
a
be all
mirror.
different, be okay with it. Mirrors.
I agree with that in a sense, but in a way I don't, because I think even like being around you guys, it's like you're my sisters and my family, and I know you guys. I still think it's just a womanly thing to feel. I don't want to say insecure, but I think we're competitive beings, and I don't know, it's just being around cheerleaders, competitive cheerleaders, and like professional cheerleaders, and like things that I've been around. I just feel like it's a girl thing to be like, to always want, it's good to want more, but to compare ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the media, but even if we didn't have magazines and movies, it's a womanly thing to be like, she cleans her house better than me. What can I do to you do that? Or she runs farther than me. How can I run farther? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it feels natural to be like.
I mean, men are really competitive.
Yeah.
But what if that magazine, the perfect woman that would be the people's most beautiful woman, would be
voluptuous.
Thicker? Yeah, maybe that's what we would love. That's
We
what
noticed that at
think
the
is
Grammys
beautiful.
this year. There was girls who were like bigger and they were like, but they were comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like.
Yeah.
There's a great Twilight Zone episode I saw where, you know, this woman's getting these surgeries all the time, and they keep saying, oh no, they keep taking the gauze off her, and they're like, oh no, and we don't see their faces, we don't see the doctor's faces, and then at the end they reveal it, and they're like, oh no, it didn't work, and we see the most stunning, beautiful woman, and you turn around and their faces are like these distorted pig things, you know, and just that it really is this sort of, you know, it's what we teach in our culture, and what I feel like it is just something that media, but also just sort of what we pass down of this sort of physical perfection that women feel that they need to live up to, and that so much of it is related to your looks. That
Maybe it's the
your
need of
esteem.
acceptance that I was trying to like.
Yeah, and
We want to be accepted, so we look to others to like see where they fit in, and Colette's really skinny and small, and I need to be like
that.
her.
Yeah.
Or,
No,
you
makes
know,
you feel
so
sick.
not even in the media, but like just in daily life.
Yeah, in
It's
culture.
that feel to be accepted, and we think that if we look or doing a certain thing, then we will be maybe.
Yeah.
So what do you think,
Yeah.
Joji?
Well, I was thinking that a huge catalyst for change, because there's some things that we can change, and if you're not happy with there's some things that you cannot. You know, you're born like that. That's who you are, and you gotta love who you are. But the things that you can change, also a catalyst for that is acceptance, because if you quit that negative judgment. Let's see, how can I say this? It's like siding with the enemy. Quit judging yourself and see what happens.
Right.
Really, there's a way to change it. You cannot be, you know, I'm sitting with my clients, I'm like, stop that. I have clients that don't, when we're training at gyms, they don't want to look at themselves on the mirrors. You know, they're like, no way, don't put me in front of the mirror, I don't want to see it. That is the worst thing that you can do to yourself. It's like judging yourself all the time.
Yeah.
So if you want to change something, start by accepting
And loving yourself.
and loving yourself, and you watch. That could be the first step into transforming,
Yeah.
seeing changes.
So that's interesting, because it's not like no matter how much you work out to try to change, like all these things that you hate about yourself, if you're just hating these things about yourself, it's not going to change.
It's
No
not
matter
gonna go
how
anywhere.
good you look.
Exactly.
No matter how good you
It's
look.
like a mental thing. It's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So how do you help your clients change that? How do you help them
Well, first of all,
do that?
the mind plays such a huge role, you know, because it's like everything else. It's not the situation. It's your perception, your mind all the time. It's like it's your story, the story in your head, you know. So if your story is like, you know, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm tired, I'm this, you know. So accept it first, and then take action, you know, because there's some things that can be changed by the negative
talk in your head, because
has
it's like
to
a
go.
body dysmorphia
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can be a very skinny fit person and look and just see.
Yeah, it's
like,
not funny
I am
as
so
women. We're
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
I just feel like I don't know, it's just hard for me to take a compliment because as women, it's funny how people can be like, oh, you look beautiful. And, oh, but my hair's a mess and I feel chubby and my lip gloss doesn't match. You know, like how we are as women. But I think for me, I've noticed it's kind of been my environment that I was, you know, kind of not brought up in, but around. I was always a dancer, a cheerleader. And, you know, there's just such pressure to like look good all the time and feel good. And some days I'm like, I have been blessed with like a really, like, I've been blessed with a healthy body that works, and I can run and I can jump and I can do these amazing things. But it's just so funny how, like you said, our minds play these like demons, you know, it's like mind versus body. But because I've never feel like there was a point in my life where I felt awesome with my body and how I looked. And I've always, if I could go back to when I was 18, and when I was 18, I was thinking, if I could go back to when I was 12 and I was like 80 pounds, it'd be awesome.
Right.
But like, who wants to look like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think, like you said, it's a journey, and I think it's a very personal journey, and you can't follow fads, and you can't follow like what's out there in the media. You need to find what works for your body, because I think with me in fitness, everybody's body is different. It runs differently, it feeds differently, it works differently. So nutrition and working out, it has to be personal to you. You have to find what you love, and then you'll stick with it, and it will. And that's I love running, and it's stuck with me, and some people hate it, but I'd rather run 20 miles than go bike for 3. I want to kick the bike every time I see it. Like, you're so hard. So I think for fitness, you just have to try lots of things out. Go check out her channel. Maybe this will be something that you love to do, and it's personal. You've got to find what you love that works for your body. And
yeah, and like you said, everybody's different. Like I have people coming to me like, can you make my waist like this big? Can you make my butt? And I'm like, no. I'm not a plastic surgeon. I mean, I'm a trainer or whatever. I'm not God. But what I can do is make the best of what you are or what you have.
Yeah.
perfect.
And then you love that. It's like, yeah, you have wide shoulders, you have this, you have that, you're not, you know, you're tall, whatever it is, love that. Because I was going to ask you, there's a question there or a comment about a flaw. About, you know, our flaws. How we
Or flaws, yeah. How
like,
you learn to love your body.
So
and
what
its
we
flaws.
do define as a flaw. What's a flaw? It's like what? Having, I don't know, the nose certain way.
Right.
Your skin not, I mean, what's it, you
Who
know?
defines what a
What-
flaw
what-
is?
exactly.
Because sometimes the flaw is what makes you beautiful.
Exactly.
children.
Yeah, because like Cindy Crawford talked about how she had that mole, and everybody would be like,
What's
remove
wrong
it.
with
It's so
moles?
weird. Now that's what she's famous for, and
yeah.
it's part of what makes her beautiful, and
Yes,
that's what makes you
true.
unique.
Yeah, my dentist wanted to make this tooth totally perfect, and I'm like,
Right.
no,
No.
it doesn't have to be. You know,
And I think as women too, like you were saying, you don't want to accept compliments. You're taught to not be too proud and not to. You get very weird messages when you could just be. What's wrong with being confident? or being like, I'm great. Like you know, like you should be able to say that, and it should be okay without somebody being like, oh, you can't say that. You know that. I mean, and I think that's part of it. Whereas if you're allowed to just be proud of everything,
yeah.
You know, I have a funny story. I remember when I was in high school, there was this girl that was walking around who was heavier, wearing a tiny little top with these tight pants, and she was walking so confident. And I was like, who is that? You know? And then some of the girls were like, oh, she's fat. And I'm like, no, but wait, there's something about her. And I ended up talking to her, and she's telling me she's lost like 90 pounds. She was still heavy, but because she felt so confident about herself, like I totally like saw that. And here she is feeling beautiful, still a little heavy on the heavier side and showing off her body, but some of the guys were like, ooh, like check her out. And I think I don't know about you guys, but I feel like as I got older, I'm more confident on who I am. It could be hard to believe if you're still young, and it's fine, but there will be a time where you just become like, it's not going to change, this is it. Like, you know, when you're still young, like your body can still change. At our age, it's like, yeah, you can work out, you can eat well, and you can have a good, fitness. But really, that's just, you have to embrace who you are.
You are, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should be careful who you hang out with too, and who like you associate yourself with, because sometimes people can be negative, and then you can catch on to that negativity. Like maybe girls or guys who are trying so hard, or even if you're in an abusive relationship with somebody who tells you look a certain way and that you aren't meeting their standards. Like, I know I've had friends who've suffered from that, and I was in a pretty, like, I never realized it, but I was told for so long that I needed to look like this and be this way, and it's crazy, but you'll start believing it. And so I think if you can dismiss yourself from the situation and pull away and kind of, become familiar with that, that will help you too. Where you put yourself. If you put yourself around good people and doing good things, eating healthy, working out, I think you'll feel good about yourself.
I think concentrating too, like when I used to teach fitness, and I remember telling my clients, don't look at yourself in the mirror. Concentrate on how you feel. Like, are you feeling good? Are your arms, do they feel strong? Like thinking about how your body feels. Like I recently, 2 days ago, decided not to eat sugar for 7 days, which is big for me because I love chocolate. And it's amazing how I already feel so much better. Like the mood swings and like highs and lows, and just like my body feels better. And I think if we can concentrate on just like taking care of ourselves on how we feel, and not like looking at, oh my gosh, that's so ugly and I'm chubby here, and just love yourself. Really. Because
the mind is really powerful. It's like you said, if you hear something or you tell yourself something, it will manifest, And so if you tell yourself every day and feel it in yourself, like, I love myself, and thank you for this, and thank you for this, and thank you, you'll appreciate it.
Focus on what you have instead of what you don't have. I always think that.
And the reason women have more body fat than men and have fat is so that it's just biological, so that they could survive if there was a famine. We have more fat, to take care of the child.
I knew we were better for a reason.
And so the fat is actually this great thing for you. Not too much. Obviously, you don't want to be any kind of extreme, but it's there so that you can bear children and take care of them if there was a famine. But we're taught, it's so terrible.
You look at you look at third world countries where they don't have anything. Nothing. Like, they don't care about their beauty. They don't care about their weight. They barely eat. They can't drink. I went to South Africa. I came back a different person. All these things that I pictured to be so perfect is not anymore. Because these people have nothing, and they're so happy. So we're constantly testing ourselves, like, what else can I have? How better can I look? Because of what we're surrounding ourselves with. I know,
it can be so difficult. And I think for like young girls, I think the best advice I would give them is, like, don't read beauty magazines. Don't look around you and try to compare yourself to everyone, which is so difficult. And it's difficult, too, when you know that others are looking at you. Like, if there are other girls that are, talking about you, that happens a lot. And that's where a lot of it can come from, is other people judging you. But you have to just take yourself out of that situation and love who you are, and know that, like, that short time in high school where there is so much cattiness, and that's so short of a time, and you will go away from that and grow up, and it takes time to learn who you are. But if you can love yourself right now, you're already ahead of so many other people.
I like how you said, just be the best that you can be. I mean, I don't want to send the message like, just live your life, stop caring about yourself. Like, I think you should work out, and you should attend to what makes you feel good. If it feels good to paint your nails and wear lip gloss, then it's okay. You're not vain if you do that. You feel good shopping, you can go shopping, and it doesn't make you a bad person, because I'm not going to sit here and say, just live naturally and eat what you want and love. Like, if it feels good to work out, and if do what makes you feel good and makes you the best you, but just don't. I kind of like live your life like this instead of like looking around all the time. Just, what's ahead of yourself and your life for you.
And those magazines and the celebrities, it's not real. Like, there's so much makeup, there's Photoshop, there's so much you can't compare to. You just can't compare yourself to that. It's fake. It's not real. We should do an episode where we don't wear any makeup. And you see what that
We
should do that. I think we should do that.
I don't want to. I'll wear makeup, you guys.
That's funny. Well, yeah. So you guys have to check out Joji's channel. I mean, I'm gonna do it now. I always have these excuses. I don't have time. I can't work out. But that's taking care of yourself. Taking 15 minutes to go work out.
You can do it from home. Can you do it from home?
Yes. And I guarantee 15 minutes, you're done.
Do you use
need more than
equipment,
that.
like weights or anything? Or?
No. Oh, that's the other thing. It's all body weight. You don't need any equipment. You don't need anything. You're just gonna go up and down.
I know, I'm
You
excited.
know, push-ups and squats and fast and go. It's awesome.
Let's get together, girls, and do it.
15 minutes.
And you know, it's not just about being skinny or you know, looking good. Feeling strong is awesome.
Yes.
And I think being strong is sexy.
Yeah.
Like really, you should kick butt and you should feel, you know, it empowers you.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being all, you know, skinny. It's like, no, you should be able to carry 8 grocery bags from the car in one trip.
Yeah.
You know, grab your kids, jump a fence.
Yeah.
Be functional and strong. It's a great thing. So.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You have to come back.
Oh, I would love
Yes,
to.
I have so many more questions. I'm
I
like,
know.
wait, I didn't ask.
So much. I feel like we could talk about this. We're gonna have to talk again and again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And go to our Facebook page and look for our giveaway and subscribe to Joji, subscribe to the Mom's View, and keep giving us your comments because we look at them and we answer them. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you. See you next time.